Okay, welcome everyone. Still a few to come on, so I'll be up and down for a little while during breathing, but we'll get into it. So let's just start the way we normally start. So just nice grounding, just start feeling those seat bones just melting and sinking into the floor. And just allowing just that energy to start slowing down, particularly the energy, the swirling energy. Just allow that to start relaxing. And then just connecting when you're ready to the yogic breath. So just starting to work that yogic breath. So the slower we go, the better for us. So just slow that breath down by just working on a nice deep inhale. A long, slow exhale. And just getting that inhale to become deeper and slower on the exhale. Nice deep breaths by now. And then moving to Nadi Shavasana, alternate nostril breathing. So just bringing the peace fingers to the middle of the eyebrows. Block the right nostril with the thumb and inhale through left. Nice and deep. Block the opposite nostril with your ring finger and release. Right. And then breathing back in wherever you breathe out. You just slow that breath down, become nice and slow. Inhales and exhale. And when you're ready, just release that and move into box breath. So 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, 4 seconds hold. So just in your time. Beautiful. So you should start feeling nice and relaxed now. So move back into the yogic breath whenever you're ready. It's just that deep, just get a deeper inhale and a long, slow exhale. Beautiful. So we'll move into the first pose. I'm going to come into butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. So just bring the soles of the feet together. And just bring the heels away from the body, okay? So not up against the body, and just interlace all 10 fingers, lengthen through the spine, and then slowly come forward. Just working forward. If you want to get a bit more out of your hips, a bit more of a stretch, you can just place the block there. Place your feet on the block, and you'll find you'll just get a little bit deeper into that pose. So just coming into that, you don't have to do this, it'll get deeper into your hip flexors. Beautiful. Just take your time to relax into this pose. So just work your way into the pose and just allow your body to get into shape instead of pushing yourself into shape. So just allow that to happen. Just allow yourself to slowly, slowly sink down into the pose. Just continually using the breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. So yogic breath. Just continually work on that one. It's a really nice pose to open through the hips, stretching through the lower back. You've still got 1:30 to go here. Just holding this one a bit longer at the start. Get ourselves open through the hips and lower back nice and early. Just under 1 minute to go. Keep that breath. If you're starting to struggle a little bit or you're feeling it's a little bit tight, just go back to that breath. Just focus on slowing the breath down. The deepest inhale that you can. And the last breath. And then slowly, slowly work your way up. Stretch the legs out, give them a nice shape. And even come into a few windshield wipers if you feel the need to do that. And then we'll move into the next pose. So we're going to come into the toe squat. So just coming up on the knees and just have the toes up and just sit back onto the heels. Okay, that's way too much for you if you're feeling it too much. Just be in this position and push back, and you'll get a good stretch there. But if you feel like okay in this position, just bring your hands into prayer position. So what we're going to do is get that sternum up and have the spine as straight as possible. Beautiful. Just breathe through this pose. Obviously, if you need to come out and reset, make sure you do that. Another 8 minutes. Joking. This is the last few breaths. And when you're ready, coming out. So if you know that you can do the opposite pose, do that. If not, just be in this position and just relax. You can lift up your knees, just stretch through the front of the feet just for a few breaths. And when you're ready, just release, come down into crocodile pose. So coming onto the stomach. Legs out wide, toes out, heels in, stack the hands and just bring forehead to the tops of the hands. Beautiful. And just relax there. We're going to move into a nice back stretch now. So when you're ready, just coming up and just coming into Sphinx pose. So bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Palms and hands on the floor. Bring the feet together, tops of the feet on the floor. So this is Bhujangasana, just a version of it. So we want feet together, shoulder blades together. Push the chest forward and the sternum up. Try not to squeeze the shoulders up against the ears. You want to release that by just bringing the crown of the head towards the ceiling. You should be feeling this nice stretch in the lower back. Continually push the chest forward. So it's almost like sliding your hands and forearms backwards. You can stay there or you can move into seal pose. So just straightening the arms. Again, this is Bhujangasana. So feet together, shoulder blades together, chest forward and up. Once you come up into this position, you just squeeze the glutes slightly just to protect the lower back. So you should be getting more into the middle back here. And when you're ready, slowly come down. You're going to go back into Crocodile Pose just to relax that back before we start moving into the spine. So feet out wide this time, toes out, heels in, stack the hand, bring the forehead to the hands. Just relax in that position. So when you're ready, help yourself up. We're going to come onto all fours. So now we're ready to go deep into cat-cow. So wrists underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers out wide, knees underneath the hips. The shoulder blades together, and we're just pushing that chest forward and up, chin away from chest, belly button towards the floor on the inhale, and exhale, come into cat. Chin to chest, roll the spine, and then just work through in your own pace. Moving in between cat-cow. This is a good time to start developing awareness of your body and how your spine's feeling, how your shoulders are feeling. Just a few more. So now we come into downward facing dog. So whenever you're ready, just bring your hands forward a little bit more, roll the toes over, keep the heels up. This is your time to stretch. So do what you need to stretch in there. So you might just want to walk the dog out. You might even like downward dog, and you can just come into cat-cow. You continue that if you like. If you're in downward dog, just push those hips up nice and high. Just try and feel that stretch all the way up the back of the body. You should, and you're pushing your weight back to the heels. So you're wanting to get your weight backwards and push the hips up, and you'll start feeling that stretch. So just make sure your fingers are pointing straight forward, and your weight just comes slightly to the thumb and the pointer finger. Insides of the elbows should be facing each other. Sometimes they're outward. So turn them around. Push the hips up towards the ceiling, chin towards the chest, chest towards the thighs, heels towards the floor, and look between the legs. Eventually look up to your belly button. And just breathe here. So from here, we're going to come into a hip stretch. So we're going to come into, what's it called? Dog splits. Bring the right leg up, bend the knee and stack the hip. So you want to push that knee towards the ceiling. And you're going to bring that chest further towards the floor and then bring the heel towards the buttocks. And you look underneath the armpit if you can, right armpit. And from just really open the hips, try and stack the hips, bring the chest around to the side. Holding there for a few breaths. And then coming back to center. Drop the right leg down to switch sides. Push that leg right up, bend the knee, keep pushing the knee upwards, keep pushing the floor away with the hands and bring the heel towards the buttocks. Look underneath the left armpit. Opening up. And then coming back down. Just drop to the knees and come into a couple of nice cat-cows, and then we'll flip over and go into Shavasana. So whenever you're ready, just moving into Shavasana. And relax in Shavasana. So you should start feeling that blood starting to pump through the joints now. So we're going to come into the next pose. We're going to be in this pose for a couple of minutes. So coming into happy baby. So just bring the soles of the feet to face the ceiling and just grabbing the outsides of the feet if you can. Chin to chest and try and bring the shoulder blades onto the floor. If you can't grab the outside of your feet, you can just grab wherever's comfortable. Could be behind the shins or behind the knees. And just breathe. Just allow those hips to start opening up. I know if you've got tight hips, this wouldn't be one of your favourite poses, but if you just get in the position that you're sort of more comfortable in it, just allow yourself just to be there. You'll start opening up before you know it. So you've got just over a minute to go. So if you're quite comfortable in this position and you've got your shoulder blades on the floor, bring the chin to the chest and even push it down and squeeze a little bit tighter with the chin and then drop the tailbone down to the floor. You'll feel that opening there, the hips a little bit more. And just the last 30 seconds here. And when you're ready, just relax, coming out of the pose. It's always nice to do some windshield wipers after that one, and you'll feel the hips once they come together. Feel the blood rushing through there. So just a few windshield wipers and then just come into just a short Shavasana. Allow the blood to move back through those hips there. Beautiful. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to come into hammock pose. So just getting your strap. I'm going to start with the right leg. So whatever you're using for a strap, just put that around the right leg, right foot, sorry. straighten that left leg out and hold that there. If you've got a strap and you're comfortable with it around the head, just place it around the head and just get into this position here. If you've got a bent knee, it's okay, just work towards straightening the knee eventually. And just get into the position where you're just allowing the stretch just to happen. Okay, so just allow the stretch to happen. You have just over a minute left on this one. You should start feeling that deep in the belly, the hamstring. Don't forget the breath, so continue with the breath. Just the last few seconds here. And then switching legs. Just switch over to the other side. Take your time getting into the pose. Just work into it the best of your ability to get the deepest stretch that you can possibly get. You don't want to feel any pain. You just want to be relaxed as much as you can in the pose. Once you do straighten your knee, you can get in a bit deeper by pushing the heel up to the ceiling, bringing the toes back towards the shins. Just keep breathing. So last 25 seconds. And when you're ready, just coming out of the pose. So just release the strap and stretch out. Just allow that blood flow back through the hamstring. Once you release the tightness, and just breathe. Shavasana. Okay, so from here, just bring the knees into the chest, squeeze, and then roll up. We're going to go back onto our backs. We're going to come into reclining. Twisted root is one name. A reclining eagle pose is the other one. So I'll show you how to do it. So just coming back, have the left leg bent up, bring the right leg over the top. So what we're aiming to do is bring that right foot underneath the left calf. But if you can't do that, it doesn't matter, just have it as twisted as possible in this position. So we're stretching the outside of the hips. So we've got the right leg coming over, so we want the left arm to come under the right arm, twist like ropes, and grab the hands or the fingers or wherever you can. And then you can just place the hands on your forehead if you like, and just relax in this position. So you're getting that shoulder stretch and the hip stretch as well. Try and get as comfortable as you can in this position. It's a really, really nice way to open up the joints. And just focus on the breath. So you've got about 40 seconds to go. And if you want, you can straighten your legs out a little bit more. If you've got them hooked in, you can drop the knees down to the right-hand side, if you like. Just get a bit of a deeper stretch. I like just to stay still. Yes. And when you're ready, we're going to swap. So just release. Bring the legs around to swap. So you want that left leg over the top. And then swap the arms around and just relax in that pose. Beautiful. So you're getting a really good stretch of the hips now. Stretching through the shoulders. So about 35 seconds to go. Beautiful. Now release everything, slowly come out of the pose and come into Shavasana. Just allowing yourself to relax as much as you can. It's really important to have Shavasana for about 40 seconds and just allow the blood to start flowing back through. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come into supported bridge or bridge pose, whichever you choose. So we just want to get into that lower back now. So supported bridge is a block or a towel, a cushion or something underneath, maybe some books or something. Bring the shoulder blades together, chin to chest, and stretch the legs out. Okay, so that's if you've got something to use support and you want to be in support, do that. Or bend the knees up, lift the hips up, interlace all 10 fingers, bring those shoulder blades together and push through the feet as you lift up. Okay, so either either. It is a 2-minute hold, so if you're in full bridge and you want to go into wheel, you can do that, or you can just come back into bridge and supported bridge. So you can move wherever you like. This. Nice, and just allow this back and the hips are opening up with this as well. You want just to allow the back to open up the lower back. So you have about 40 seconds to go in this. Do what you please. If you want to go a little bit deeper, do that. Be happy and support. Support's nice just to be in that. So just stay there. And when you're ready, slowly coming out of the pose. So once you come out, you might feel like a few windshield wipers or squeezing the knees. And sometimes you feel like that, or feel like a nice squeeze in there. So you can do that and roll on the lower back. But then just remember to come into Shavasana to get that stillness, just to reset. It's a good chance to start connecting to the breath again and becoming as still as you can. So this is where the healing of the body happens, is right now, just right in this pose. So when you're ready, bring the knees into the chest and squeeze, and then roll up. So we're going to come into wide-legged child's pose. So big toes touch, knees come out wide, push the hips back, and then slowly work your way down. So I think it was on Monday I was showing people you can do a few different poses. So you've got wide-legged child's pose with your arms out, or you can bring your legs close and just drop your arms back into Shavasana. Whichever you like. So it's whatever's comfortable for you. Let's come into that pose. Beautiful. So about 2.5 minutes in this, we really want to get the most out of this pose that we can. And so to get that, you need to get in as comfortable as you can and be as still as possible. The only movement really should be just through breath. So that natural movement through breath. So you've got about 1.5 minutes to go. So it should be nice, relax now, getting a nice stretch and opening of the hips, particularly the lower back. This is good for. Just by placing the forehead onto the floor, we're just stimulating the pineal gland. Sometimes it's nice to just roll the forehead as well, so you can just roll the forehead back and forward. It's quite nice to do that. It's a really good pose to for a few different things. One is to release stress, particularly tension, headaches, and lower back pain. So it's a pose of perfect for that. This one here, and the next one we're going to do. So last 30 seconds. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly come up. We're going to move straight into the next pose from here. So coming on to all fours, we're going to move into Anahatasana, so melting heart. So on all fours, and walking the hands forward, but pushing the hips upwards. Okay, so we're just walking to get the chest on the floor and the chin on the floor. And hips up. that's too much, bring the forearms to the floor and drop the head onto the floor. You can even use the block to place your forehead on, but start getting that chest towards the floor. So the idea is just to work to get the chest to the ground. So we're getting really nice shoulder stretch here, opening through the chest, through the throat. A nice, comfortable back bend that we can hold for quite some time. So about a minute and a half to go. Yes. Sometimes if you've got really tight shoulders and you've got to pull out of this, just make sure you do that. Just go into Shavasana. It can be very, very difficult if you've got tricky shoulders. Beautiful. When you're ready, just slowly come out of the pose. Just help yourself up, and after that forward and back bend, just come into a few cat-cows. It's really nice to do that. And just release any tension that could have built up in the lower back from that, the muscles in the lower back. And then just come into Crocodile Pose after that. So feet out, toes out wide. Stack the hands forehead on the hands. Relax in Crocodile Pose. So when you're ready, just lift yourself up. We're going to come into cat pulling the tail. Okay, so this pose, we're going to get a nice twist of the spine and a stretch of the outside of the hips. So you may need a strap for this one. Left foot comes underneath the right buttock. So show you the full pose here. I can grab my fingers around the big toe, come back, lift up, grab the bottom foot with my right hand, pull that up, and then just come across into this position. But once you're across, you want to bring the shoulder blades back and pull that bottom leg up. If you can't grab the bottom foot, doesn't matter, just keep going with it. But you can use a strap as the extension of your hand and come across that way. So you want to feel that stretch in the outside of the hip and the twist of the lower back. So bring the shoulder blades back onto the floor and you're going to get that nice twist. So a minute and a half either side on this time. So when we're twisting like this, the breath speeds up. So just slow the breath down. You know how to do that now. Just slow that breath down. It becomes calm as you can be. Got a minute to go, or just under a minute to go on this side. So the breath now should be nice and calm. So become as still as you can for this last 20 odd seconds. And slowly coming out of the pose. Moving straight to the other side. So bring that right foot under the boat. You can do it from the ground, or you can sit back up and just start it again. And grab the toes with your fingers, or with the strap as the extension of the hand. Once you get there into the position, just work those shoulder blades back towards the floor. If you can't get them on the floor, that's okay, but just continually use your energy to get that left shoulder blade particularly on the floor. Sometimes you've got to slide the right one across to bring that left one down. And again, just working on slowing that breath down. It could take about 40 seconds or so, sometimes a bit longer. Last couple of breaths here. And then release. So coming out of the pose. Again, this is one where you might want to come into some windshield wipers up, stretching the outsides of the hips. And then just come into Shavasana and relax. So when you're ready, we're going to come up again. So bring the knees into the chest, have a squeeze. And then roll up to a seated position. So we're going to work the inside of the hips again and the lower back. So we're coming into frog pose. So knees out. I know we did this on Monday, we haven't done it often. So toes out, toes pointing out, knees as wide as they can go. And I'll just get set up and I'll start pushing my hips back while my arms are straight, and then slowly coming down. You can use a cushion or a bolster or a block or something underneath you if you like, but just continually get that stretch through the adductor muscles. So you want to feel that stretch. Now, if this is too much, you can go back into happy baby. Okay, so you can move into happy baby. Sometimes it's a bit too much on knees. It is a little bit of a deeper pose than happy baby. But you'll still get plenty out of it if you do happy baby twice. And just relax in this. We've got 1:40 to go. Anytime if it gets too much and your body's shaking too much and you need to get out, really take your time coming out of this pose. So you got just under a minute. Everyone's hanging in there, well done. So last 30 seconds. So when you're ready, you're going to slowly come out. So just push the chest away. It's the easiest way to get out of it. And then slowly work your way. Do the best of your ability to come out. Flip yourself over onto your back and come into Shavasana. Beautiful. Just allow that blood to flow. So bring the knees into the chest, have a squeeze. Take your time this time to come up. Just have a squeeze and roll on the lower back. And then roll up to a seated position. We're going to come into Supta Vajrasana, which is on the knees, which is Vajrasana, but we want the heels away from each other so we can sit our bum down in between the heels. Okay, so that's the pose there. You can always use a cushion underneath, like there. Come into that pose there and start working back. You're going to get the stretch through here. You have that behind you and lay on it as well. So the full pose is bring the knees towards each other. Just walk the arms down so you can bring your back down, head down, and come into that pose there. Arms up. And the idea is to get the chest up as high as possible. So if that's too much, you can have that behind you, like a cushion or something to lay on. If it's too much for both legs, bring the left leg out, right leg back, and then come back into that pose. So as soon as you get the stretch in the quad, you're in the pose, so you don't have to go too much further than that. And if you're doing one leg at a time, I'll tell you when to swap over. It's a bit of a bugger of a pose if you're cramping. Beautiful. Just breathe through this one. You're getting a really good stretch through the quad, stretching our knees. It's a real good pose for knees and ankles to stretch. If you're doing one leg, just switch to the other side. If you're doing both, just hang in there. Got about 55 seconds to go. So last 25 seconds. And just start coming out of the pose nice and slow and coming into Shavasana. It's really important to get into Shavasana reasonably quick, but you don't want to hurt yourself, obviously. So come out, stretch the legs out, and just feel now that blood pumping through the knees and the ankles and the hips. Just that fresh, reoxygenated blood. So it gets rid of a lot of stagnant energy that hang around the joints. So from here, we're going to bring the knees into the chest and have a squeeze. We're going to roll up. I'll get you to, you may need a strap or a towel or whatever you're going to use in this. We're going to come into Janu Shavasana. We're not going to be in these poses for too long. So just bring your left leg out straight and right the sole of the right foot coming up onto the inside of the thigh. If you can grab your hands around your foot, you don't need a strap. You can do that. Just come up and over, hold there. Just keep looking at the toes. Otherwise, the strap. Lengthen through the spine. Chin up, chest up, and you want to bring that stomach to the thigh. Okay, so that's the main aim. Bring that stomach to the thigh. Keep watching the toes. Okay, so just continually watch the toes. I'll tell you when to tuck the chin under and bring the forehead towards the knee. Keep looking at the toes. It's going to give you the ability to bring that stomach down towards the thighs. And now when you're ready, just reach your head forward like you want to touch your toes. Bring that chin away from your chest and then duck under, chin to chest, forehead, knee. You can bend your knee a bit too if you want to get that forehead-knee connection. Breathe here. And then slowly come up. We'll just switch straight to the other side. Do exactly the same. So however you did it on that side, just work to doing the same on this side. So lengthen through the spine, hands up, come over, interlace all 10 fingers, drop the elbows down, start looking at the toes or using the strap as the extension of your hands. Looking at the toes, bringing that stomach towards the thigh. And then when you're ready, tuck the chin under. So reach the head forward, tuck the chin under, bring the forehead down towards the knee. You can bend the knee up towards the forehead and hold. And then slowly work your way up. So Paschimottanasana, so bring both legs out. You should be feeling it down through the hamstrings and stuff. That's what we're really aiming getting in that lower back. So we need that movement through there. So again, exactly the same as what we did with Janu Shavasana. So bring the hands up, come forward, stomach towards the thighs, reach around, or use the strap as your extension of your hands. Lengthen through the spine before you come down. Okay, so lengthen, 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 and then look at those toes. Keep looking at the toes, and I'll tell you when to tuck the chin under if you want it. You can even grab your big toes. That's a nice one to do. So Paschimottanasana is this one, so just grabbing the toes. So you can either just keep lengthening through that spine, bringing the stomach to the thighs, or you can tuck the chin under now and roll the spine. Just 20 seconds to go, so get the best you can out of this. You feel an incredible stretch through the posterior chain. And when you're ready, slowly come out of the pose. Beautiful. Staying in this position other than bringing the legs out wide. And we're going to come into a forward bend from here. So legs out wide. Just releasing through those adductors now. So lengthening through the spine. On the inhale and exhale, come forward. You can use anything you like to try and bulk up. You don't have to bring the forehead to the floor. It's very nice, but you don't have to. You want to just feel that nice stretch on the inside of the thighs now. You can take your time. Just allow the body to get you there. The more you push, the less chance you've got to getting there. So using the breath and just allowing the body to take its own shape is the key to this pose, the key to any pose. But this pose, sometimes we can try and push ourselves too far, but if you allow the body just to make up where it wants to go today, You get much more out of the pose. So you've got about 45 seconds to go in this one. This is either a love or a hate pose. I don't think there's any in between in this one. You either love it or you hate it. I can see a few people hate it. That just means you need it. So any pose you hate, you need, unfortunately. So last few breaths here. When you're ready, slowly working your way up. Beautiful. So what we want to do is bring the legs back together, stretch them out, give them a nice shake. A couple of windshield wipers because we're going to move straight into the next pose. It really got my hamstrings out. And then we're going to move into either Viparita Karani. Viparita Karani is actually legs up the wall. Okay, so you push your bum up against the skirting boards and push your legs up the wall. That's Viparita Karani. Supported shoulder stand is bringing the block underneath you and legs up. Okay, so that's supported shoulder stand. Chin to chest, hands down. You can even flip the block up a little bit higher if you like. Soles of the feet facing the ceiling. Or you can come into shoulder stand. If it's in your practice, come into that. You can come into plow anytime you please. Toes pointing to the ceiling if you're in shoulder stand. Beautiful. So Viparita Karani is a really nice pose. If you can't do shoulder stand, don't worry about it at all. Viparita Karani is perfect. So this pose, we're draining all the fluid from the feet down. So just being in this upside down position reverses the workflow. It's a really, really handy pose if you build up fluid in the joints. So about 40 seconds to go. Last 20 seconds. And when you're ready, slowly coming out of the pose. So once you come out of the pose, we're going to go directly into the next pose, which is the counter pose to shoulder stand. So we're going to come into supported fish. So just bring the block behind you if you've got a block or whatever it is behind you. Obviously, the best one is having the block up in between the shoulder blades. Drop the head back. You can bring your soles of the feet together or stretch your legs straight out, totally up to you. If that's too much or you've just got a cushion or something, just place it down so the shoulder blades come onto whatever you've got there. So you want the sternum up nice and high, okay? So that's the main aim to this. Drop the head back, and you want the chin as far away from the chest as possible. So as far away as you can handle that. Just relax there. So now we're just opening up through the chest, stretching the upper back. We've got just under a minute to go. Don't forget to breathe, even though it's the end of the class, you still want to focus on that breath. You've got about 25 seconds to go. And then when you're ready, slowly come out of the pose. Once you come out of the pose, any movement you want, sometimes you might want to squeeze your legs in or windshield wipers or anything you need to do, just do that and then get prepared for Shavasana. Just to let you know, the time is 5 minutes past 7. So we'll be doing about 8 minutes or so of Shavasana. So if you can hang around, it's awesome. Just get yourself as comfortable as you can. Beautiful. Once you do get comfortable, that's the time to focus on breath. So there's nothing like just taking a nice, deep, long, slow inhale. And then release the breath. Just do that a few times. Nice, deep inhale. And then just release the breath. So now when you're ready, we're going to just bring our attention to the sounds around you. So just become aware of any distant sounds that you can hear. And just listen to the sounds. Just let your sense of hearing operate like a radar beam searching out those distant sounds. And just follow them for a few seconds. Just move your attention from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source of the sound. Gradually start bringing your attention closer to the sounds, maybe just outside the room that you're in. And then to the sounds inside the room that you're in. And develop the awareness of the room that you're in. Without opening your eyes, just visualize the walls and the ceiling, floor. Visualize your body laying on the floor and attempt to see your body laying on the floor. Just become aware of your physical existence and your physical body laying on the floor. Total awareness of your body laying on the floor in perfect stillness. Now just become aware of the natural breath. Natural, spontaneous breath. Just concentrate on the natural breathing process. So now we'll move into rotation of consciousness. Most of you know this now. So try not to preempt where I'm going with this. Just listen to my voice and just jump from point to point. Attempt to mentally name each part as I name the part, and just jump from point to point. We're going to start on the right-hand side as normal. So we begin with the right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, the sole of the right foot, the top of the right foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Now move to the left side, the left hand thumb, second finger, third, fourth, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, the left hip, the left thigh, the left knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, left sole, top of the left foot, the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Move to the back of the body, the right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade. The right buttock, left buttock. Spine, the whole of the back together. Now go to the top of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow. The center of the eyebrows, right eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, right cheek, left cheek, the nose, the tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, the navel, the abdomen, the lower abdomen. Now the whole of the right leg, the whole of the left leg, both legs together, the whole of the right arm, the whole of the left arm, both arms together, the whole of the back, the whole of the front, the whole of the head together, legs, arms, back, front, head together, the whole of the body together, the whole of the body together, the whole body, relax the whole body. Now breathing, just become aware of the breath moving in and out through the nose. Now we'll start counting the breath backwards from 54 to 0. It's like this, I'm breathing in 54, I'm breathing out 54. I'm breathing in 53, I'm breathing out 53. I'm breathing in 52, breathing out 52, and so on and so on. Just focusing on counting and the breath. Breath and counting, nothing else. If you make a mistake, just go back and start again at 54. No sleeping, no mistakes. Just awareness of the breath and counting. Now cease the counting, still remain aware of the breath. Move into just following a short mantra for the next minute. So just repeat the mantra over and over to yourself. Just repeat the mantra, Shanti Ananda. Shanti Ananda. Just keep repeating that mantra, Shanti Ananda. Mind wanders, which it probably will, just come back to the mantra, Shanti Ananda. Shanti. So now release the mantra and just take a long, slow, deep breath in. And then release that breath. Now just think of someone in your life and send them off a really nice, heartfelt gratitude. Take another long, slow, deep breath in. And then release the breath. Now turn inwards and give yourself that thanks and praise that you deserve for getting here this evening and dedicating yourself this time. Amazing things for your body and your mind in particular. Start wiggling the toes and the fingers. And just roll to the right hand side. Making your way up into Sukhasana, comfortable seated pose. Just bring your hands into prayer position, Namaskar. I'd like to deeply thank you all for being here this evening and allow me to take you through the class. And I hope you all feel amazing after the deep stretching. Have a wonderful rest of the evening, and I'll see you all again soon. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Right on time. Beautiful. Have a beautiful evening. Take care. See you all.
Thanks, Ray. I missed you.